Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Got you your latest forecast on a Tuesday. Warmer than average yesterday in Charleston. Had a low of 66 and got to 90 officially. The average high yesterday is 81. Have some likely rain and storms today with some general thunderstorm potential. And then starting on Wednesday, northern and eastern areas of the state included in a marginal risk for some isolated severe storm potential. Weather pattern-wise, we have a warm front today. The main cold front doesn't sweep until sometime late this week, like Friday night or early Saturday. So we're going to have some increasing heat and humidity, risks of heavy rain, and some potential of flash flooding, including today and tonight. Marginal to slight risk for a lot of us of excessive rain that could lead to some flash flooding potential. So as you're keeping your eyes on the radar, first western areas of the state favored for showers and storms before it progresses eastward. There will also be some high heat and humidity. I'll be timing and placing this week, too. Fly saver forecast, it starts at home. Washington, D.C. up to 97 for a high on Thursday. Chicago, 91 tomorrow. I'm watching for some potential severe weather risks over there middle of the week. From northern areas, chance of rain and storms. Highs in the low 80s today. To the east, upper 70s, up in some high elevation spots. Mid 80s elsewhere with a chance of showers and storms late. From east to west, again, favored central and western areas, some increasing chances of rain today as that rain progresses eastward with the potential risks of thunderstorms and highs upper 70s to 80s down to the south. For Charleston, Morgantown over the next 7 days, again, we will have increasing heat and humidity with multiple chances of showers and storms. 87 Wednesday, near 92 Thursday, 90 Friday, some warm lows in the 60s to near 70. The weekend, still some chances of showers and storms with some lower temps by then. 86 on Sunday and 80 for that high next week on Monday.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. We're on the campus of Marshall University for Metro News Talkline, and we are underway.
Not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the Metro News Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is Metro News Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Cue Dave and TJ. You're on. Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. On the road, we're on the campus of Marshall University all week long. I'm covering the high school state baseball tournament a couple blocks down the road at Jack Cook Field. So we took the show on the road this week. Coming up this morning, since we're on Marshall's campus, thought we'd have Brad Smith come by. He said sure. He'll join us coming up 11:06. Later on, Marshall baseball coach Greg Beals as well. We got a loaded first hour to get through. Kyle Wiggs will stop by. We'll get into this mess from the Texas Circuit Court involving the ruling with Brendan Sorsby, the quarterback at Texas Tech. Also, Mike Nolting's got an update for us on a couple of cases we've been following as well. So a lot to get into this morning. Say good morning to this guy. It's TJ Meadows. Morning, TJ Meadows.
Morning, sir. Good to be here.
A lot going on. We went from having nothing going on to a lot going on in about 15 minutes this morning.
Well, you know, it happens. That's kind of the way. For those, I'll give you a little peek behind the curtain.
Pull the curtain behind.
Yeah, we plan. But we plan to know that other things will come up too, right? And it kind of all works out in the end. I like it that way. It keeps it exciting.
One of the things that came up was this story from ProPublica. Trump administration killed criminal investigation of GOP Senators' coal companies. Of course, that GOP senator is West Virginia Senator Jim Justice. The story reads, Trump administration officials earlier this year killed a criminal investigation into the coal empire owned by Senator Jim Justice. The investigation examined potential criminal violations of the Clean Water Act by the multi-state mining operations largely run by Justice's son, Jay, according to current and former officials familiar with the matter. Joining us on MetroNews Talkline is editor with ProPublica, Jesse Eisinger. Jesse, good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Jed. Thanks for having me.
Oh, all right. Hey, Ethan, okay, we've got a terrible phone connection. Ethan, let's see if we can get that connection cleared up. It sounded like Jesse was in a chopper.
Yeah,
there.
doing a traffic report.
All right, Ethan, let me know when you've got a better connection with Jesse there, and we will get to it. The story goes on. The criminal probe was a significant escalation of the years-long effort to police serial pollution offenses by the Virginia-based Southern Coal and dozens of affiliated mining operations controlled by the family. It says the investigation was shuttered by the Trump administration, was a joint effort by prosecutors and investigators with the Environmental Protection Agency, Department of Justice's Environmental Crimes Section, and the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Western District of Virginia to probe whether the incessant violations and of anti-pollution laws had risen to the level of criminal behavior. People familiar with the matter said. We do have some information. The Justice Camp has responded to some of this, and we'll get to that coming up in just a little bit. All right, Ethan, we got him back now? Mm-hmm. All right, Jesse, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Much better. You sounded like you were flying a chopper across the state there for a moment. So,
well, you know, it's only the 21st century, so why would we have telecommunications that actually work?
Brother, we ask that question every single day. So, Jesse, what did this investigation find?
Yeah, well, two of my reporters, Molly Redden and Avi Asher Shapiro, found that there was a criminal investigation of Jim Justice's empire of coal companies, as you just read out. He's got a sprawling group of coal companies. He's been acquiring smaller companies, and they've had a history of big problems, and state and federal prosecutors have charged them civilly over the years. And then they opened up a criminal investigation because they thought there was more there. It was going along. A Trump appointee actually okayed the investigation, and then it was shut down by then acting Deputy Attorney General, or then Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who's now the acting Attorney General and former personal lawyer to Donald Trump.
So, Jesse, the DAG, as he's known, the Deputy Attorney General at the time, prosecutorial deference, deciding to go forward or drop a case, that's not that unusual. What makes this different, if anything at all?
No, that's true. Well, usually it doesn't happen at the DAG level, and it really is unusual to happen this early in the process. Usually what happens is the DAG comes in at the very end of the process and is kind of making the final call on, are we going forward with this case or not, and should we settle it? Often they do settle it. I wrote a whole book about this because they're kind of chicken about bringing cases against corporations and CEOs. But at this early stage, the DAG rarely intervenes. Especially in a politically sensitive matter. What they're going to try to do is be very hands-off, let the case develop, see what the evidence is. And this was relatively early in the process, but it was pretty promising. The line attorneys, the staff attorneys, thought that this was very promising. Investigators from the EPA also did. So, there's no evidence, and we didn't claim that they had committed crimes, but they were beginning the process of gathering the evidence, and there were some serious allegations out there, and then it was all shut down prematurely.
Talking to Jesse Eisinger, editor for ProPublica, where this story was published. So where is that line in an investigation like this where it crosses from civil regulatory matters into a possible criminal probe?
Yeah, the line typically is you have to prove intent to commit a crime, or you have to commit a crime you have to ignore it in your obligations willfully. There's something called the ostrich defense where you say, well, I didn't know anything. That's actually not a valid defense, because you can't be willfully blind. So you either have to have intent to commit a crime, and there was some allegations in a civil lawsuit from a lawyer. The companies hired a pretty high-profile guy to be their compliance lawyer to look at whether they were complying with the Clean Water Act and seeing whether these companies were polluting, and if they were polluting, whether they were cleaning it up, and whether they were paying their fines. And then he got so concerned that he was told, he claims, he alleges, that they were not going to actually have him comply, that his real job was to figure out how not to comply with paying these fines and the law. And so he brought a civil suit, and the prosecutors saw that and thought that is potentially signs of intent there, that they're willfully trying to intentionally violate the law, and that's when it crosses over from civil to criminal.
Talk about the findings in that case. As I understand, I think the civil case, Fowler is who we're talking about here. He won, but he wasn't awarded a large sum of money. And I believe Steve Ruby, the attorney for the Justice family and the Justice companies, called him a former disgruntled employee. That plays a role, no?
Yeah, well, he's definitely disgruntled. Disgruntled employees sometimes are telling the truth. Even though they're disgruntled, that's sort of what makes them disgruntled a lot. And yeah, to be clear, the Justice Department, we reached out to them because we're very careful, serious journalists, and we make sure that we give everybody fair chance to comment. The Justice Department said there was nothing wrong here and that they properly assessed this and being not a promising criminal case. And the Justice Company's lawyer, as you just said that there was no crime committed and that this guy Fowler's claims were invalid. The jury came back and had a kind of peculiar verdict where they said, they did kind of misrepresent things to you, so they were lying to you, but we're not awarding you any money, and that's still going, and there's a judge, it's pending, his ruling is pending. So it's a kind of weird ruling, but he certainly wasn't validated in his lawsuit that they were committing crimes, but it was a civil lawsuit, so that wasn't the intent of it.
Talking with Jesse Eisinger, editor for ProPublica. What's your takeaway from the reporting in this story, the implications, the insinuations? What's your takeaway from all this, Jesse?
Yeah, the big takeaway here is that Donald Trump has turned the Department of Justice into a weapon to go after his enemies and a shield to protect his friends. And that is a distortion and corruption of the intent of the Department of Justice, which should be impartial, whether you're investigating Democrats or Republicans, friends of Trump, businessmen who have donated to Donald Trump or not. They should go about their business independently, and it no longer is an independent operation, and it's no longer meting out justice in an impartial way, and that's really troubling for America.
What safeguards are now ignored, or what future safeguards are missing to ensure that it remains independent and acts independently, Jesse?
Yeah, well, there are all the safeguards have been really eroded. I mean, the biggest one is that Congress, which is an equal branch to the executive, of course, should be conducting its oversight and trying to maintain the independence of the Department of Justice. You know, Todd Blanche, this acting Attorney General, is coming up for a confirmation hearing, and they could conduct serious oversight hearings. I mean, one thing he was involved with is the Epstein investigation, and that really went nowhere, even though there were promising lines, and it looks like he was protecting Donald Trump. That's the allegation. So that's one of the big safeguards. And then this other big safeguard, it turns out that the independence of the Department of Justice, which has been in place for about 50 years since Watergate, since Nixon, that was just a norm. That was just a norm of behavior. People were professional and acted independently, and we relied on the president not to interfere with their decisions. And once that norm is destroyed, and it was just tissue paper, right? It was just a kind of behavior that we expected from our leaders. Once that's destroyed, the question is, will anybody voluntarily adhere to it again? Will a new president come in and say, sure, you can investigate me because that's the proper way to behave, and just because Donald Trump didn't allow that, I will. You can investigate my family. You can investigate my cabinet members. Once that norm is destroyed, then what do we have? We don't have a rule of law. And once you don't have a rule of law, then you really wonder if we have even a democracy anymore.
Jesse Eisinger, editor for ProPublica. You can read the story over on their website. Jesse, thank you so much for the perspective. Appreciate it this morning.
Thanks very much for having me.
Absolutely. Coming up, Pete Rose was banned for it. Brendan Sorsby might actually start opening day for Texas Tech. We'll talk about that after this. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios on the campus of Marshall University. Back in a moment.
In West Virginia, community is everything. It's about showing up for each other. Vin Salango and the team at Salango Law don't just work here, they live here, proudly sponsoring local events and giving back to the neighborhoods they love. So when you're facing a serious injury, trust the local team that's always in your corner. They spent over 25 years fighting for West Virginia families. Salango Law. Get results, not excuses. Visit us at salangolaw.com.
The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program has been a huge success. High school juniors from all across the state have applied, and we're down to 15 finalists. Now, we need your help. Please go to wvmetronews.com and vote for your favorite finalist. By casting your vote, you can help determine who will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan. That includes room, board, tuition, and fees. Just log on to wvmetronews.com, click the Vote Now button, and cast your vote. You have until midnight, June 14th, to help us change the life of a West Virginia student and their family forever. Cast your vote today by clicking the Vote Now button at wvmetronews.com. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar is supported by Greer Industries, the West Virginia Hospital Association, ZMM Architects and Engineers, the West Virginia Farm Bureau, Friends of Coal, and of course, Metro News. Vote now at wvmetronews.com and help us change the life of a West Virginia student forever.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
On the next State of Minds.
There's this big power plant that looks like it's going right on top of Davis. And I think everyone was asking the same question, why? We have a rural character, outdoor character, wild character of our county. And we would be kind of putting in this utilities size industrial landscape. And I think it would change the character of our county.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
If you don't know the name Brendan Sorsby, well, you will. He's a Texas Tech quarterback, and he will be eligible, at least for the time being, to play in 2026 after admitting to thousands of bets on sports, including 40 on his own team. He got a Texas judge to issue a temporary injunction overruling the NCAA's ruling that he would be ineligible for the season because, well, he bet on college sports and bet on his own team. Kyle Wiggs is the host of MetroNews Sportsline. MetroNews Sports guys spent a lot of time on this last night. And Kyle, the reaction to that judge's temporary injunction, which I know is not a final ruling, but we know how the wheels of justice moves very, very slowly, basically makes Sorsby eligible for the season. But the reaction from the Big 12, the ACC, Big 10, ADs and coaches aren't happy about it. Morning, Kyle.
Good morning. Yeah, it seems like this may be the one thing that the NCAA has everyone, with the exception of the Texas Tech camp, in its favor, right? When do you ever hear anybody agree on something where the NCAA is in the right? And this one seems to be that particular case. And, you know, I'm sure you've heard the reaction of Gene Taylor, the Kansas State athletic director. Usually when a ruling or something like this happens, you get a response, well, this may not be the best thing for our institution or the student athletes. You know, Gene Taylor came out and said it's blanking blank. So, I mean, that's about as you know, decisive of a comment as we've ever heard about anything, I think.
So, Kyle, it's Texas Tech versus the world here. How do they get back on the right side of this equation? Do they have to let Sorsby go?
Well, letting him go is, you know, they're paying him an incredible amount of money. The NIL deal reportedly north of $5 million. This is when the other institutions and your commissioner, I believe, have to step in and say, wait, this isn't going to work. There's reports that Big 12 athletic directors and the commissioner are meeting today via conference call, and you've already heard pushback from other leagues and from other universities. You're right, it's very early in the process, but I think this is one instance where the leadership of your conference and the leadership of the other athletic directors have to step up.
Could we, and we're talking to Kyle Wiggs, MetroNews Sportsline, MetroNews Sports, could we see the other Big 12 ADs come together and say, just flat out say, no, we're not going to play them?
Well, I mean, I think you've heard a little bit of, you know, saying that they're not going to play Texas Tech. That may be extremely unlikely, but I think you may have.
Though?
What's that?
Is it a pressure tactic, though?
Well, I mean, I think you may have a coalition of athletic directors and conference commissioners saying this is unacceptable. It's with this particular player being able to play, considering what's happened with other athletes being suspended and having their careers ended for a lot less than what Brendan Sorsby has basically admitted to doing. So, again, it's very early in the process. We're still 2 months away from the start of preseason practice. We're 3 months away from the start of the season. I'm not, you know, obviously, like you said, Dave, we haven't heard the end of this. So I think there's going to be incredible pushback on this.
Kyle, given Taylor's statement, maybe Kansas State would be an outlier, but do you look, you talked about coalition, do you look for the Big 12 to unify around a decision here, or do you think teams will make individual decisions? How does that play out?
I think it's just that. I think you have to unify around a decision and put pressure on the one institution. That seems to be in the short term the way this might go. Or, you know, if you think about it, this is a states' rights thing, right? This was a Lubbock County judge in Texas that ruled this. Who's to say that when Texas Tech goes on the road, their road conference games are on Ohio, Colorado, and Oklahoma? Who's to say that the institutions in those states don't go to their judge to get an injunction saying he can't play?
It's interstate commerce, too.
I hope it doesn't get that far. I hope there is some sort of agreement or coalition against this, because it's wrong, and everybody knows it's wrong with the exception of those at Texas Tech who are trying to defend it.
Well, Kyle, and this may be that moment, this unifying moment you're talking about, and actually pushes, I can't believe I'm saying this, Congress into action. We talked to Senator Capito last week. If the NCAA cannot have authority to declare a player who bet on his own team ineligible, it can't do anything.
Yeah.
There is no authority there. So if there's ever going to be something where maybe we actually get a push, get that antitrust exemption where the NCAA has some teeth, maybe this is the thing that does it. Because if you can't ban Sorsby for betting on the game, I mean, what authority do you have for any other rules? I mean, it's Wild West. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. As much as I hate to say it in terms of Congress,
We all do.
I mean, they can't get much right to begin with. So for them to get involved in college athletics, but as you say, that may be the only recourse. I mean, there's no collective bargaining. Pete Rose was banned for a lifetime because it was against the collective bargaining rules for Major League Baseball. You can't bet on baseball. You certainly can't bet on your own team. So that was cut and dried. He's out. But you're right. The NCAA can't enforce its own laws and its own rules.
MetroNews Sports, Kyle Wiggs. He'll be back at 6:06 tonight. I assume you're going to be talking some baseball tonight, Kyle.
College World Series and the state tournament going on, the extended state tournament. What is it, Wednesday? So we're in day 4 of the state baseball tournament. It's going to go all the way to Saturday.
It's only Tuesday, Kyle.
Tuesday.
It's
I'm
only
ahead of
Tuesday.
myself. That's right. If it was Wednesday, I'd be down there.
Yeah, you'd be down here. We got AAA quarters today. Kyle, thanks for the update, buddy. We'll
All
see you
right.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Coming up, we will get you an update on what's happening in Mason County with the development of a data center there and a program the company is ready to unveil. We'll do that coming up. This is Talkline from Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It is 10:30 and time to get a news update. Let's check in with the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Got you your latest forecast on a Tuesday. Warmer than average yesterday in Charleston. Had a low of 66 and got to 90 officially. The average high yesterday is 81. Have some likely rain and storms today with some general thunderstorm potential. And then starting on Wednesday, northern and eastern areas of the state included in a marginal risk for some isolated severe storm potential. Weather pattern-wise, we have a warm front today. The main cold front doesn't sweep until sometime late this week, like Friday night or early Saturday. So we're going to have some increasing heat and humidity, risks of heavy rain, and some potential of flash flooding, including today and tonight. Marginal to slight risk for a lot of us of excessive rain that could lead to some flash flooding potential. So as you're keeping your eyes on the radar, first western areas of the state favored for showers and storms before it progresses eastward. There will also be some high heat and humidity. I'll be timing and placing this week too. Fly saver forecast, it starts at home. Washington, D.C. up to 97 for a high on Thursday. Chicago, 91 tomorrow. I'm watching for some potential severe weather risks over there middle of the week. From northern areas, chance of rain and storms. Highs in the low 80s today. To the east, upper 70s, up in some high elevation spots, mid 80s elsewhere with a chance of showers and storms late. From east to west, again, favored central and western areas, some increasing chances of rain today as that rain progresses eastward with the potential risks of thunderstorms and highs upper 70s to 80s down to the south. For Charleston, Morgantown over the next 7 days, again, we will have increasing heat and humidity with multiple chances of showers and storms. 87 Wednesday, near 92 Thursday, 90 Friday, some warm lows in the 60s to near 70. The weekend, still some chances of showers and storms with some lower temps by then. 86 on Sunday and 80 for that high next week on Monday.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota. Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs.
Yes, we will get to your text coming up. 304 Talk 304. Lots to get to in the meantime. We're going to check in with Bryan Hughes, MetroNews meteorologist, in a couple of minutes. The high school baseball state tournament could, fingers crossed, could be impacted by the weather today. We're hoping it's not, but Bryan may have bad news. We'll talk to him coming up in a couple of minutes. A reminder, the 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program has been a huge success. High school juniors from all over the state have applied, and we're down to the 15 finalists, and we need your help. Go to WVMetroNews.com and vote for your favorite finalist by casting your vote. You can help determine who will win the full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan. That includes room, board, tuition, and fees. Just log on to WVMetroNews.com. Click the Vote Now button and cast your vote. You have until midnight, June 14th, to help us change the life of a West Virginia student and their family forever. Cast your vote today by clicking the Vote Now button at WVMetroNews.com. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program is supported by Greer Industries, the West Virginia Hospital Association, ZMM Architects and Engineers, the West Virginia Farm Bureau, Friends of Coal, and, of course, Metro News. Vote now at WVMetroNews.com. Help us change the life of a West Virginia student forever. N-Scale has been developing the Good Neighbor Home Purchase Program up by the Monarch Compute campus site where that facility is being built in Mason County for a few months now. For more information on this program and how it could impact you, well, joining us is Jason Bechtel, the Monarch Compute campus site manager. Jason, good morning and good to talk to you again.
Hey, Dave, DJ, appreciate you guys having me back on.
Absolutely. Tell us about the Good Neighbor Home Purchase Program. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, for sure. So N-Scale is happy to announce our Good Neighbor Home Purchase Program for all of the residents living in the Meadowlands Estates area that's just south of the Monarch Compute campus here in Point Pleasant. So this program, it's been in development over the past couple of months with input from our local advisors and council as part of N-Scale's commitment to being a constructive neighbor here on Project Monarch. These market value offers for each of these homes are being determined by reviewing 3 independent valuation methods and using the highest of those 3 as our baseline, adding a material premium as well to that. Additionally, Monarch and N-Scale is committed to covering all the closing costs associated with each one of these purchases. And the important part of this as well is this program is 100% voluntary. Those residents and homeowners that wish to stay there in Meadowlands can absolutely do so. So absolutely have the right to stay in their home. We are working with local realtor Sandy Dunn of Homestead Realty to handle homeowner outreach and transactions. And the homes that will be purchased through this program could be used for employee or contractor housing or other project-related purposes for Monarch.
So, Jason, a lot to unpack there. Let's go back for just a second. There was an incident on May 23rd that resulted in, I believe, an issue with the silt retention area there at the construction project. Some of that gave way because of the heavy rain. Is this program in any way a response to that, or was this program already in development before that happened?
Yeah, this program was already in development before that. So we're just now at the point where we're ready to roll that out and to be able to start making some of those offers.
Jason Bechtel is joining us, Monarch Compute campus site manager. Are you reaching out to homeowners there, or should they reach out to you if they are interested?
Yeah, so we have seen a couple or talked to a couple of the homeowners over on site, but if any of them are interested in hearing what the offer would be, the best thing for them to do would be to reach out to Sandy Dunn at Homestead Realty here in Point Pleasant.
Why do this, Jason?
This is just something that we want to, we have heard from the community members, and this is based off of, internal discussions with, like I said, our local advisors and councils, that to be able to provide that option for those folks that, don't wish to live close.
And you mentioned these could be used for contractor or employee housing. How many employees are you thinking may take you up on that offer if these houses are available?
I think at this point in time, with some of the guys and girls that we have on site now, that housing is something that they're looking for. So we feel really confident that the employees that will be incoming will take us up on that offer to live close to the site.
Can you give us a sense of whether local residents are embracing this? How many people have you had indicate an interest, and have you actually closed any deals under this program yet?
Yeah, so we have made multiple offers, and we have had a lot of positive interest in this so far. So mostly everybody that we've talked to has wanted to move forward in some type of way. So far, extremely positive responses.
Hey, Jason, can you give us a quick update on the overall progress of the construction there on the Monarch campus?
Yeah, absolutely. So everything is running really well right now. Still in the process of moving a lot of dirt, and got quite some time of still continuing to do that. But vertical construction will be starting here very soon, and continuing to ramp up with a lot of the construction jobs, as well as some of the permanent positions coming in as well.
Any ETA as far as when you're online and running, and what we should look forward to in regard to when this is actually up and going?
Yeah, so the full build out will be over the next 5 to 6 years or so. So a little bit for that, but planning for into next year to have our first hall up and running.
He's Jason Bechtel. He is the Monarch Compute Campus Site Manager. The program is called the Good Neighbor Home Purchase Program, developed by Nscale. And you can, of course, get more information, Jason, I would assume, over at your website.
Yeah, they can, that or the best thing to do, like I said, reach out to Sandy at Homestead Realty, and that'll make sure that communication gets to us.
Jason, we appreciate the update. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Jason Bechtel, Monarch Compute Campus Site Manager. Let's get a couple of texts in, 304-TALK 304. Guys, it's laughable to say that the attorney generals have not been partisan in the past. There were complaints under the Obama administration and many complaints under the Biden administration. This is not new, though it is something that should not be the case. Is it only called the weaponization of the Department of Justice when Trump uses it? Where were you all when the Biden administration was doing the exact same thing? Not in these particular chairs. We didn't have the show then. We were doing other things. We have the show now.
I was working policy on Capitol Hill.
I was trying to keep Morgantown City Council from doing stupid stuff. So, yeah, we didn't have the job at the time. So that's where we were.
Bad Biden.
Shame on you. And look, here's the bottom line. And we were talking about this during the break. You can either call me naive or salty, one or the other. The thing that Trump does that no other administration does, he does it blatantly. He does things out in front, and it's visible. Do I think this stuff happens behind the scenes much more quietly in other administrations? Sure I do. I don't think it's a new thing. You can call me, salty. You can call me naive. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. I don't think it's a new thing. I just think it is very, very blatant especially with Trump 2.0.
Well, you can make the argument, at least you know what he's doing, right? I mean, at least it's somewhat transparent. You can make the argument that it has always gone on, but now at least you know it's going on. I do think the relationship that the Trump administration has had with the DOJ, particularly the FBI, all the way back to the first administration, was going to cause him problems. There's a reason most presidents don't invite the FBI director to the White House. And the writing was on the wall when that started, and I think a lot of people tried to dissuade him from that, and it was not good. And we saw what we saw as a result.
And I will add this, that article by ProPublica, and look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like ProPublica is not I find it to be a very left-leaning publication, but it was about the Trump administration. It was less about Jim Justice and his businesses. And to me, that article was more about, look at what the Trump administration is doing to try to protect a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Less about what Jim Justice, because there were a lot of things there that I would have written it differently if I were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, but I think it was more about the Trump administration than Jim Justice. Look what's going on over here with this, and it just happened he was the vessel to get to that point.
Again, talking about this off air, I think one of the other angles here is this conversation around, and we've flirted with this before and people have talked about it, the idea that when a leader comes into office, are they somehow going to put their assets into a blind trust? And you saw this with Trump. You've seen this with Jim Justice. My children are running it. I'm not running it. I think there's somewhat of that element that comes back. And here's where we get into the rub. If we want the best and the brightest, the most experienced to take us forward in this country, asking them to sell off their personal assets and what they spent a lifetime building is going to dissuade them from wanting to run for office. Maybe even someone who, look, I'm not a single stock picker. I don't do that. I think it's incredibly dangerous and risky. But somebody that does that and has made money doing it, they're not going to want to put their money in index funds, you know? So if that's the rub, and how we figure out how to massage that so that we're comfortable with it, I don't know that we ever get there. But you take the good and the bad? No, I mean,
you could always take the Bernie Sanders approach. He hasn't done squat. He's a millionaire. 304 Talk 304. That's the text line.
It's a camp, David. It's a camp on the lake. It's not. I can't do a good Bernie. I'm sorry.
Has Trump lost his mind? He thought the fans of Madison Square Garden were cheering for him. 99% were booing him. He's gone crazy. Do you remember the old? Well, it's not old. Well, it's kind of old. It's been several years. Is the dress blue or green or red? Remember that on the internet?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
You're a bad example. You couldn't tell.
I couldn't see it, but I read about it. Everybody saw gold or blue. I saw like neon, whatever.
My point. That's what that's like. I mean, if you like him, if you're a Trump supporter, you probably heard the cheers. If you're a Trump hater, you probably heard the boos. I don't care. I just don't care. The Knicks lost last night, by the way.
I think you care if you had plans in New York City and Manhattan last night. I think you care because it probably threw it all to pieces. Did you see? The man likes to close his eyes. I don't know if he's resting his eyes. I don't know that he's necessarily asleep, but they were on him with that last night, too. I mean, you could cut to a shot, and he was just like, he's sitting here and his eyes are closed. I do that.
Deep in thought.
Maybe he was deep in thought. Maybe it's past his bedtime. I don't know. But
I mean, he's 80.
He's 80, so.
304 Talk 304 is the text line. 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. We'll get an update on the weather. How will that impact the high school baseball tournament? Bryan Hughes will let us know next.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. For years, rural communities in West Virginia waited for reliable, high-speed internet. Now, fiber is most likely at your front door. Public investment helped build the opportunity, and CityNet delivered the service to homes and businesses just like yours. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can count on, switching to fiber has never been easier. Fast downloads, smooth streaming, better connections for work, school, and everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
At WVU Medicine Golisano Children's, pediatric primary care is never far away. Our pediatricians are here for everything your child needs. Whether it's a well child or an unexpected visit, you have local, convenient access to our expert pediatric primary care team. Visit WVUkids.com to schedule an appointment.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs and 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
304 Talk 304 is the text line, 800-765-8255. The phone number. Our coverage of the WVSSAC State Baseball Tournament continues over at WVMetroNews.com. We've got highlights, recaps, photos, all the above, live play-by-play coverage as well over at the website, radio play-by-play coverage. And TJ, have I ever mentioned how much that coverage costs?
I maybe once or twice, but refresh us because we forget things from time to time.
It's absolutely free. No subscriptions, no fees, none of that is required. And it's all available for you at WVMetroNews.com. We'll have all 4 of the championship games on Saturday over at the website as well on the Metro News TV app, WVMetroNews.com. Sorry, I'm trying to do 3 things at once here. Ethan can't do his job.
Did I tell you that I got a call this morning on my drive in? It was from one of our affiliates. I won't mention which one. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. But they said, so you're in Huntington with Dave too? I said, yeah. Mm-hmm. So are we going to hear you on a color position today at some point during the game? And I said, well, I would be willing to do it, but I don't think the company is willing to go there. There's some question about my talent, and I understand that. So, no, you will not be seeing me do anything like that anytime soon.
304 Talk 304. Let's get a couple of texts in here trying to get connected with Bryan Hughes. We had him for a moment, and Ethan hung up on him, so we'll try to get him back on the line. The issue with the Texas Tech quarterback is that he has been diagnosed with a gambling addiction, and his attorneys presented medical evidence of such. It is not that he can't get suspended for betting on games, but he can't get suspended for a medical condition, which then gets into illegal discrimination issues. None of us have reviewed the specific legal filing, but all commentators are leaving out the crux of the ruling. Here, I don't care. He bet on the games. I don't care. He bet on games he played in. You cannot do that and uphold the integrity of any athletic competition. All right, let's get to the weather. It could be a problem today with baseball being played a couple of blocks up the street. Metro News meteorologist Bryan Hughes joins us. Bryan, what is going on?
Well, we've got more rain showers and storms on the way. We've got some down around Paintsville, Prestonsburg, moving into Pikeville, more out around Lexington, moving into Moorhead. So that means we've got rain headed for Huntington today, unfortunately.
What type of rain? Just rain? Or are we talking thunder, lightning? How severe?
We're looking at pretty much, we're not particularly looking at severe weather threats being too high, but we're going to have thunderstorms that will be capable of producing some lightning and some gusty winds. But the severe threat, I think we're going to hold off until probably Friday more than anything. Yes, we could have a severe thunderstorm warning out of the stuff today, but Friday is going to be a bigger deal as far as severe weather is concerned. But this does not help the baseball situation. Thankfully, this is an all-turf field. So once the rain quits, turn it around, let's go, and let's start playing. But we've got to get past the showers and storms. So right now we've got it's 10:53. We've got showers and storms that are out around Maysville, back down to Lexington, and almost halfway actually between Lexington and Moorhead. Those are going to be here within about the next hour and a half. And so, we're going to have to delay some games because of the rain, and there will be some lightning associated with it as well.
Yeah, the rain we can tolerate for a large part because of the turf field, Brian, but it's the lightning that can really throw things off schedule today. So would you get the storms going another direction, please? Can you work on that?
I believe me, I've been trying to work on this since I saw the forecast shaping up like this for baseball this week. But this,
you got a rain dance or something you do, or an anti-rain dance? You've been working on it. What's that mean?
Listen, the rain dance got my quarterback out of Hawk, so that's all I had to do.
You are a Texas Tech guy. We should be talking to you about this. I forgot about that.
Yes. I will say this, and I'll say this. I'm just going to say it quickly. Yes, he shouldn't have been betting on his own team. But at the same time, too, I've seen a lot worse come out of a lot of other universities around this country. So, turnabout fair play, I guess we finally get one that we do that gets to take home for the win.
Bryan Hughes, MetroNews meteorologist. Bryan, we'll check back in later this week, buddy. Thank you.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Final break of the hour. Tell you what's coming up now. Hour number 2. This is Talkline from the Cove Insurance Studios.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridge Sport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead, in the ways that truly matter.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Jackpots are on the rise in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is $238 million. Mega Millions jackpot is $392 million. So go ahead, play today. Coming up, second hour of Metro News Talkline. Mike Nolting will get us caught up on a couple of stories out of the Morgantown area. There was the shooting in Saberton last week involving Monongalia County Sheriff's officials investigating that case. He'll get us updated on that. And one of the 2 women convicted in the murder of Skylar Neese was up for parole this week. It was denied. Mike will have details in the second hour. Also, the boss man's here. Well, at least the boss around here is here. Metro News president. He's not the Metro News president. He's the Marshall
president. You know
president.
about a deal that I don't? Are we going to break news here or what?
Brad Smith's going to join us 6 minutes from now. This is Talkline from the Cove Insurance Studios on the campus of Marshall University this week on Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Got you your latest forecast on a Tuesday. Warmer than average yesterday in Charleston. Had a low of 66 and got to 90 officially. The average high yesterday is 81. Have some likely rain and storms today with some general thunderstorm potential. And then starting on Wednesday, northern and eastern areas of the state included in a marginal risk for some isolated severe storm potential. Weather pattern-wise, we have a warm front today. The main cold front doesn't sweep until sometime late this week, like Friday night or early Saturday. So we're going to have some increasing heat and humidity, risks of heavy rain, and some potential of flash flooding, including today and tonight. Marginal to slight risk for a lot of us of excessive rain that could lead to some flash flooding potential. So as you're keeping your eyes on the radar, first western areas of the state favored for showers and storms before it progresses eastward. There will also be some high heat and humidity. I'll be timing and placing this week too. Fly Saver forecast, it starts at home. Washington, D.C. up to 97 for a high on Thursday. Chicago 91 tomorrow. Watching for some potential severe weather risks over there middle of the week. From northern areas, chance of rain and storms. Highs in the low 80s today. To the east, upper 70s, up in some high elevation spots. Mid 80s elsewhere with a chance of showers and storms late. From east to west, again, favored central and western areas, some increasing chances of rain today as that rain progresses eastward with the potential risks of thunderstorms and highs upper 70s to 80s down to the south. For Charleston, Morgantown over the next 7 days, again, we will have increasing heat and humidity with multiple chances of showers and storms. 87 Wednesday, near 92 Thursday, 90 Friday, some warm lows in the 60s to near 70. The weekend, still some chances of showers and storms with some lower temps by then. 86 on Sunday and 80 for that high next week on Monday.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of MetroNews Talkline. We've taken the Encova Insurance Studios on the road this week. We're on the campus of Marshall University. We're in the Communications Building at the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Dave and TJ. Stephen, did I just rename Ethan this morning as well? Yeah, sure. Why not? Ethan Collins is our audio producer this morning. That guy. And Jake Link is handling, or Zach Karolchik actually is handling the video stream. I don't know who's working for us at all in Morgantown today.
Is Zach Link on it this week?
Zach Link. Let's just go with that.
I've got him signed up for 18 credits at WVU, by the way.
Our number is 800-765-TALK, 304-TALK, 304. Mike Nolting will get us updated on what's happening on a couple of cases we've been following out of Morgantown. And Herd baseball coach Greg Beals is going to stop by. Big weekend for his program with baseball players from all over the state of West Virginia here for the high school baseball state tournament, which is underway. Class AAA quarterfinals underway this morning. Bridgeport and East Fairmont are tied at 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning over at Jack Cook Field. So that's what's coming up this hour. Joining us on set this morning is the boss man around these parts. He's the president of Marshall University. Brad Smith joining us. Hey, Brad. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. Welcome to Marshall University. It's good to see both of you again, and thanks for having me on the show.
I was having flashbacks when I walked in here. I was afraid Dr. Bailey was going to come down with one of my scripts, all, red ink all over him and just shaking his head at me. I was having flashbacks, Brad.
Well, there's still time, Dave. There's still time.
There's still time. What's going on? Let's talk about the baseball tournament being on campus for the very first time. When that stadium got built, I know I was one of the people that said, boy, that would be a perfect venue for that event. And lo and behold, here it is this year for the first time.
Yeah, it is a privilege, and it was one of the parts of the rationale for putting a baseball stadium of that magnitude in our community. We knew that it would have an economic impact. It would introduce people to this part of the state and ultimately to Marshall University. And think about it, 32 teams, 11 of them local, 21 of them outside a 50-mile radius are coming to Marshall University. They're spending time in this community. The economic impact is somewhere between $2.5 and $4 million. 1,000 people coming to a game, 28 games, 28,000 people here in this community. It's super exciting, and the competition's been amazing.
And great for these youngsters, as you said, to get to see the campus. As I drive down Hal Greer, back in the day, for a very short period of my career, I worked here in Huntington. You would come down Hal Greer, and let's just be honest, it wasn't the most eye-pleasing drive. Yeah. And now with that beautification, it looks like a completely different entrance to Huntington. And at the end of it, as I drive down Hal Greer on my left-hand side before I hit campus, I see this huge steel building being erected. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is a part of our grand plan that we've worked together with the community, with industry, and obviously on the campus. It is a campus master plan that helps drive economic vitality throughout the community. Going down 4th Avenue is the IDEA district. As you know, it stands for impossible doesn't exist anymore. It'll be anchored by the Institute for Cybersecurity. That's that steel coming out of the ground. It'll be a 73,000 square foot facility with 13 labs, academic areas, as well as a secure operating center. It's called a SOC. And it's going to be really exciting. On the other end is the College of Business, and then in between will be a lot of individual businesses, innovative ideas, things are going to happen that will create jobs for the community. Then going down 16th Street in Hal Greer, that's the Health Sciences Corridor. So we have the pharmacy school, we have the hospital, we'll have the new School of Medicine right across the street, and then we're going to have a lot of activity going up and down that street as well. And that's a collaboration, and it's really been exciting to see come to life.
How has the relationship with the city improved and really been integral in the growth of Marshall University over the last several years?
It's inseparable, and to be honest with you, it goes back 189 years. We talk about every college hopes that it has a great town and gown relationship with its host community, and Marshall and Huntington have been inseparable for all that time. But as we know, in 1970, we took it a step further. We were forged in fire, so we are truly one. That's why we say we are Marshall. This is the People's University. Just a few weeks ago, we had the 5th annual Community Cares. Nearly 1,000 people volunteered to come and paint the dorms and plant flowers and mulch, and it was just incredible. They just collectively see themselves at Marshall. And as a result, now we've had an amazing time with Steve Williams, the prior mayor. Mayor Farrell is incredible, and we're just rolling up our sleeves and saying, what can we do together?
The Huntington Area Development Corporation, known locally as HADCO, you've went into partnership with them, you being Marshall University. Talk about that. Why are you doing it?
Yeah, so HADCO's always had a challenge and an opportunity to collect assets, many times property, and figure out how to cultivate those into the next generation of opportunities for our citizens and for the community in terms of jobs. And that has become increasingly tied to what Marshall University is doing. And so in the collaboration, they asked if we would take HADCO, put it underneath a nonprofit we run here at Marshall called IDEA Solutions. That's the group building out the IDEA district. And let's have them collectively look at these assets and say, how do we build this into the master plan? We're very excited. We already have 3 or 4 assets we're working on that we think will bring to life a new opportunity for the city of Huntington.
Brad Smith is joining us, president of Marshall University. Anything you want to announce while you're here today, Brad? I'm just throwing it out there. Is there any, you're always looking forward. You're always looking ahead. So if there's anything you want to announce today, I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, today is the first day of orientation for our fall 2027 class, or fall 2026 class. It's fiscal year 27, and we had 225 students on campus. I greeted them this morning, plus their family and friends that were here. We've got it going on all week. We're very excited about the fall class coming in. I'm looking forward to the athletic season. I'm optimistic about all our teams. I'm very proud of our friends at Morgantown right now, going deep into the playoffs right now in baseball, and we're rooting them on. It's good for all of West Virginia. And then I will tell you that over the summer, we're doing a lot of work here at Marshall, and in particular, we're leaning into some of the new tools and technologies that I think will allow us to leapfrog and show the world just who we are.
We have had this conversation, TJ and I, on this show. I'm just kind of throwing it out there at you. How is AI... How do we utilize that as a tool? How is that going to impact industry? How is that going to impact business? How's it going to impact higher education? And I'm throwing all this at you, Brad, but moving forward, it feels like we're at step maybe 2 of this process of what is going to absolutely transform how we do everything?
I think you just nailed it with two phrases. We are step 2 of a 10-step process, and it is going to completely transform everything. It's going to transform jobs. It's going to transform how we live our lives every day. It's going to transform productivity and business. It's going to transform higher education, K through 12. And all of us need to realize that you should never lean away from the future, because the future always wins. So we're leaning in. We're going to make sure we use it ethically, responsibly. We have access to all the AI tools on campus for our students. We're bringing a group of people in over the summer to help us facilitate some strategy sessions with our faculty, our deans, our chairs. And we're going to make sure that we are leading the way in this next chapter. And I know it comes with some promise and it comes with some peril, and both can be true. But we're going to go after the promise, and we're going to minimize the peril.
The idea of the agentic web. I heard someone say the other day that it would be the biggest thing since the printing press and the Gutenberg Bible. I'll let you tell me whether or not they're right. But can we do that? Can we see that potential without data centers?
So two-part answer. Yes, I do believe they're right. This will be the biggest thing since the printing press, electricity, the World Wide Web. I really believe it. I'm already seeing it. I sit in a couple boardrooms, both in New York and out in Seattle, and I can see what's happening not only with the clients they serve, but what's happening in these companies. I see what's happening in higher ed. And then the second part of this is you can't do it without data centers. And data centers do have a history of not having been the most productive in terms of community assets. It's definitely changed, and there are much cleaner ways of doing it, much more productive ways to get the community involved. But we have to recognize that just as we've had utility companies and others over the years that allowed our nation and society to move forward, data centers are that next chapter, and we're going to have to make sure we do those ethically, responsibly, transparently. But we need to welcome them and figure out how to make sure they do good in our communities.
What about from national security? Are we in a race with those who have a different philosophy, those non-capitalist countries, China, Russia? We're in a race. I mean, this is as much about national security as anything, right?
Absolutely. In fact, we just hosted a few weeks ago with our Institute of Cybersecurity Operation Locked Shields. And the Operation Locked Shields was where WVU, Marshall, Duke, University of Kentucky, and others came together. And with 42 nations, we did red team, green team scenarios where we literally were using cybersecurity and agentic AI. It is machine versus machine, and we have got to figure out how to do this and make it an asset. It's critical to the future of our country and the future, candidly, of the world.
Marshall President Brad Smith joining us. And Brad, you know how we are here in West Virginia. We're leery of outsiders, and I think there's some good reason for that. People have come in the past, taken advantage, and made their money and moved on. So if you were advising a business, somebody wanted to put a data center, if you're Google, you're building in Putnam County, what do they need to do to reach out to West Virginians, particularly, very uniquely West Virginians, to build a good relationship so we can get past this trepidation, kind of side eye looking at these companies coming in going, we don't want you to come in and take from us and leave. We want you to be good partners. So what would you tell somebody?
In Wayne County, we keep it simple. That's where I grew up. 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in that ratio. Mm-hmm. So come in and listen. Hear what people have as a perspective, what concerns they have. Share data, share examples, share names that they can call and say, did this happen in your community? And make it a collaborative process. West Virginians are proud to put their shoulder against the boulder when they know what the goal is. But if you come in and you do something to us, our first reaction is going to be to show you just how tough we are. We're country strong. Mm-hmm. But if you come in with us, there's nothing we can't achieve together.
Switch gears for a second. I do want to talk with you a bit about athletics. We read about the Save the College Sports Act. We hear from Nick Saban and others on the Hill last week testifying. We read yesterday and the day before about this young man at Texas, his problems, but he did the deed. How do we fix all of it? What's the simple Wayne County answer to all of this?
I wish there was a simple Wayne County answer to all this. I think we have to keep a few things in perspective. Athletics play a critical role in our campuses and in our communities. They create leaders, they create success for these students who come in, and they not only have a very heavy challenge of participating in a D1 sport, but they also graduate, they get their degrees, and they also give back to our communities. In fact, our student athletes did over 3,500 hours of student service or community service this year. They also have an economic impact. We just did some math on this. For every dollar that we put into athletics here at Marshall, it produces about a 1.8 return, so $1.80 for every dollar. So it has a big impact when people come and watch these games like the baseball tournament.
Pretty good return.
Yeah, but the flip side of it is today the model's broken and there isn't an athletic department that anyone can name that's making money. They're all losing money. In fact, if you saw the data, it was almost $800 million Ohio State spent a couple years ago to win a national championship, and they lost $39 million doing it. Penn State's $700 million upside down. The list goes on and on. Georgia, Alabama, they're all coming out. So we need to have federal help. We need somebody to come in and say, these are going to be the rules of the road. Right now, as the proposal is, it's starting at age 19 or high school graduation, you get 5 years. 4 years to play, 5 years of eligibility. They're suggesting one transfer portal opportunity. If you do it a second time, then you have to redshirt, just like you did back in the old days. And there's a lot of things like that I think will create more stability, not only for the programs, but for the student athletes. People don't realize every time an athlete goes in the transfer portal, their likelihood of graduating goes down 20%. So they run out of eligibility, and then they ultimately don't have a degree, and only 1 or 2% of them make it to the pros.
And then it's not for long.
Yeah, I know. And so it's a real issue that we have to embrace together, and it's going to take federal legislation and the NCAA and all of us working together.
He's the president of Marshall University, Brad Smith. Brad, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for having us on campus this week. We appreciate it.
You and TJ, appreciate you.
Coming back, we'll check in with Mike Nolting. We'll get an update from Morgantown. This is Talkline from the Cove Insurance Studios on the Marshall campus this week. Back in a moment.
The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program has been a huge success. High school juniors from all across the state have applied, and we're down to 15 finalists. Now, we need your help. Please go to wvmetronews.com and vote for your favorite finalist. By casting your vote, you can help determine who will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan. That includes room, board, tuition, and fees. Just log on to wvmetronews.com, click the Vote Now button, and cast your vote. You have until midnight, June 14th, to help us change the life of a West Virginia student and their family forever. Cast your vote today by clicking the Vote Now button at wvmetronews.com. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar is supported by Greer Industries, the West Virginia Hospital Association, ZMM Architects and Engineers, the West Virginia Farm Bureau, Friends of Coal, and of course, Metro News. Vote now at wvmetronews.com and help us change the life of a West Virginia student forever.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZLM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZLM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, The same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Talkline continues. We're in the Cove Insurance Studios on the road on the campus of Marshall University. CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet is probably right at your front door, and now is the perfect time to connect. Fast, reliable fiber internet built for everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects. Last week, we told you about an incident in Saberton in Morgantown and the CVS pharmacy. Montague County Sheriff's Department was investigating that and released updated information yesterday. Mike Nolting from WAJR in Morgantown has been following that story. He joins us from the WAJR newsroom. Mike, good morning. What is the latest on that incident in Saberton?
Oh, good morning, gentlemen. What we can tell you is that the events that happened on June the 4th all began on May the 10th. That was the day that there was a standoff on Aaron's Creek Road that involved 55-year-old Michael Bolliard. As a result of that standoff, he was then indicted during the May term of the grand jury. He didn't show up for his arraignment. At that point, a warrant was issued for his arrest, and in the meantime, his family had notified deputies that he was attempting to obtain a firearm. Now comes June the 4th, when Bolliard is sighted near the Saberton CVS. Deputies then attempt to approach Bolliard. At that time, deputies say that he produced and discharged a firearm. At the same time, deputies at that point discharged their firearm. However, Bolliard, it is confirmed through body cam video, through the autopsy, and through the medical examiner that Bolliard died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
What, if anything, here do we know about state of mind? Did mental illness play a role? What, if anything, has surfaced on those questions?
He, as part of his indictment, he was given a mental hygiene order, which would have required a mental health evaluation, and it is my understanding that he did not follow through with that.
Mike Nolting joining us from the WAJR newsroom in Morgantown. Yesterday, Mike, one of the two girls who were convicted of killing Skylar Neese was back up for parole. Rachel Schoaf was up for parole yesterday. What was the result of that hearing?
Well, this was the third trip before the parole board for Rachel Schoaf, and once again, she was denied. Now, her scheduled release date per the Department of Correction and Rehabilitation website is April 30th of 2028. However, next June 1st, as a matter of fact, 2027, she'll have the opportunity to come back before the parole board and once again make her case. Now, for Sheila Eddy, the story is much different. She is scheduled to petition for parole or begin that process in May of 2028.
She's going to get out, Mike. I mean, her sentence was not a life sentence. She pled guilty to second-degree murder. She is going to get out of prison one day.
That's certainly a very distinct possibility. However, I think that in that hearing, we find that Rachel Schoaf has had a hard time following rules inside the prison. I'm not saying that she's committing very serious offenses inside the prison, but they are serious enough that they get brought up at her hearings, and they certainly affect her ability to move freely in the prison.
This has to be traumatic, I would think, for Niece's family, too, because I'm sure they were probably, Mike, you may or may not know this, were they at the hearing, the parole hearing?
They were at the parole hearing. As a matter of fact, Dave Neese, Skylar's father, did read a statement. And, TJ, you're exactly right. This has been, it's been 14 years of misery for the Neese family, actually.
I can't believe it's been 14 years. That is hard to believe, Mike. We have those stories over at the website, WVMetroNews.com. Mike, thanks for the update. Appreciate it, buddy.
Take care, guys.
That story feels like it was yesterday. I covered that story, the disappearance, the revelations of Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf, and the court proceedings. It is hard to believe it has been 14 years since Skylar's murder.
Help me remember something here. My memory is slipping. So she pled guilty to second-degree murder.
Correct.
Sentenced to 30 years in prison with possibility of parole after 10.
Correct.
Yet her projected release date is 2028. How do you do?
You get 1 day off your sentence for every one day of good behavior.
Okay.
So essentially, a 30-year sentence can be cut in half.
Okay.
She has clearly not been able to keep up with the good behavior, but she is going to get out. She is going to get out. Her sentence has an end date. Sheila Eddy was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole because she was underage. She was under 18 at the time, and Judge Clauges cited a Supreme Court case. This is well established that sentencing someone under 18 to life without parole is cruel and unusual.
Yeah, well, so, I have to tell you that. I think just one man's opinion.
Sure.
Good move by the parole board here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She shouldn't get out 1 day early.
No, not at all.
Coming up, we're going to talk some more baseball. This is Talkline from the Cove Insurance Studios on the campus of Marshall University on Metro News. Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Got you your latest forecast on a Tuesday. Warmer than average yesterday in Charleston. Had a low of 66 and got to 90 officially. The average high yesterday is 81. Have some likely rain and storms today with some general thunderstorm potential. And then starting on Wednesday, northern and eastern areas of the state included in a marginal risk for some isolated severe storm potential. Weather pattern-wise, we have a warm front today. The main cold front doesn't sweep until sometime late this week, like Friday night or early Saturday. So we're going to have some increasing heat and humidity, risks of heavy rain, and some potential of flash flooding, including today and tonight. Marginal to slight risk for a lot of us of excessive rain that could lead to some flash flooding potential. So as you're keeping your eyes on the radar, first western areas of the state favored for showers and storms before it progresses eastward. There will also be some high heat and humidity. I'll be timing and placing this week, too. Fly Saver forecast, it starts at home. Washington, D.C. up to 97 for a high on Thursday. Chicago, 91 tomorrow. Watching for some potential severe weather risks over there, middle of the week. From northern areas, chance of rain and storms. Highs in the low 80s today. To the east, upper 70s, up in some high elevation spots. Mid 80s elsewhere with a chance of showers and storms late. From east to west, again, favored central and western areas, some increasing chances of rain today as that rain progresses eastward with the potential risks of thunderstorms and highs upper 70s to 80s down to the south. For Charleston, Morgantown over the next 7 days, again, we will have increasing heat and humidity with multiple chances of showers and storms. 87 Wednesday, near 92 Thursday, 90 Friday, some warm lows in the 60s to near 70. The weekend, still some chances of showers and storms with some lower temps by then. 86 on Sunday and 80 for that high next week on Monday.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Selangor Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at selangorlaw.com.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota, Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs.
Again, play Sunday against either Ole Miss or North Carolina. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
We've arrived in June. That means it's time to get out on the water, the lake, the river. You don't want to be left on the shore. So check out all the great deals on pontoon and fishing boats at Lou Wendell Marine Sales. You can see the entire inventory at LouWendellMarineSales.com. Lou Wendell Marine Sales, we sell family fun. Joining us on the Encova Insurance Studio set here at the campus of Marshall University is the head baseball coach, Greg Beals, joining us. Coach, good morning. Thanks for coming over.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
And you've got 32 high school baseball teams coming to your ballpark this week. That's got to be a cool experience for the program and great exposure for just Marshall and the Marshall baseball program.
Yeah, we've been watching a lot of baseball, and I jetted over here from that East Fairmont Bridgeport game, which is a very good baseball game. There's been a lot of great games, and this is something that's really important to me as the head baseball coach of Marshall to bring this championship, this state championship here to Huntington, here to Jack Cook Field. And it's an initiative that I kind of sparked, but had great support from everybody at the university, including Brad Smith, and our administration and the athletic department to get this done. We did something special at Jack Cook Field here at Marshall University, and the state assisted, the city assisted, and this is something that's really important to us to be doing this. And so far, so good.
As you interact with the players, talk about the thrill for the kids getting to play on a college D1 diamond. Talk about that a bit.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of compliments already, and from the coaches as well, because we built a ballpark, we built a baseball facility which includes indoor batting cages, so the teams are able to prepare for the game, and they're just really happy with the. It's Huntington, the hospitality that we have. Our people are great, and the hospitality that we have shown to the teams coming and giving them the best opportunity to prepare and be ready to play in a very critical game for, chasing the state championship.
Marshall baseball coach Greg Beals joining us. By the way, upset alert, top of the 7th, East Fairmont leading Bridgeport 2-1. That is number 8 seed East Fairmont leading the number 1 Bridgeport Indians 2-1. So keep track of that over at WVMetroNews.com. While you're listening to this program. How are things going for the Marshall baseball? You decided to schedule a bunch of teams that were going to qualify for Omaha this year.
Yeah.
So, who made the schedule?
I did that. That's all me.
That's
So,
all you, buddy.
We start Omaha this week, and the College World Series starts, and very interesting. 2 of our opponents, Troy and WVU, are playing in the opening round. So we played 3 games against both those teams. So 6 of our 59 games, so almost 10% of our schedule's in Omaha. So we, between our conference and what we're able to do in our midweek games with WVU, we have a very demanding schedule. So the summer's off to a very rapid pace with the transfer portal, and we've got the nucleus of our ball club back. I like a lot of what we have. We're trying to find a couple really key pieces in this transfer portal to get us back into that top half of that conference, the top third of our conference. As you can see, our conference had 5 teams that played in the national tournament this year. It's the 4th-ranked conference in the country, and we need to climb up and I want Marshall. My goal for our program is that Marshall University is represented in the baseball national championship tournament.
It seems like what's happening in college athletics today. We heard Saban last week. We read Texas Tech and the issue of that young man this week. It seems like what is happening in college athletics doesn't help your goal, Coach. I know you have some feelings about that, but what do we need to do here? I asked Brad Smith what the simple Wayne County solution to this was. He said, sadly, there may not be one. How would you fix it?
Well, I think we're moving in a closer direction. You know, if we're able to get this one-time transfer and we're able to get this 5-year clock thing, eligibility, if we're able to get that through, that's going to stabilize our rosters a little bit. Versus 5 years, that's it. No additions, no this, that. We're able to stabilize where our rosters are at. The transfer portal, if kids are allowed to do it one time, if you have to do it a second time, then you have to sit out. And because right now it's just general free agency every year. Guys are testing the market. It's like that's simply what they're doing. They're testing the market and seeing what else is out there possibly for them. It's a very professional philosophy. The concepts of intercollegiate athletics and the things that we love about what we do in intercollegiate athletics, those have changed a lot.
Marshall baseball coach Greg Beals joining us. Marshall hosting the high school baseball state tournament this week. Action going on right now in the Class AAA quarterfinals. What kind of relationship? We're a small state. What kind of relationship do you have with Coach Saban's up in Morgantown? How closely had you been following his team's progress this year, through the postseason here?
Yeah, well, we're awfully familiar with each other.
Yeah.
You know, with
three times a year.
Being in the same state and playing each other 3 times a year. You know, my relationship started with Coach Mazey when I first got here, and then he turned the program over to Steve, and he's done a fabulous job. He was a great assistant coach, and he's quickly become a great head coach, running the program very well. We have an awesome relationship. I text him. I'm wishing him luck and congratulating him on what we're doing, and we look forward to going toe-to-toe again next year 3 times.
Having played both schools, Troy, WVU, you talked about that. Neutral observer, just break that game down a little bit for me. I mean, what do you think WVU is going to face against Troy? What are the spots they're going to have to – what are they going to have to overcome?
Troy is scrappy,
Yeah.
and they're really hot right now.
Yeah.
You know, this is a team that lost 30 games throughout the season, and we had them on the ropes here in Huntington in our series with them, but they are playing very good, and they're playing with a lot of energy and a lot of emotion, and just they're hot right now. WVU is a higher talent level. They can pitch the ball, and I think their pitching is going to slow that energy down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
WVU is a very good ball club, and they got a chance to win several games out there and put themselves in position. And, you know, it's a tournament, so you never know. I hate to say, it's hard to say they're going to do this and somebody's going to do that.
Sure.
They're poised. WVU's ball club is poised to make some noise out there. But Troy's awfully hot right now.
For anybody in college baseball, anybody that's a baseball fan, what does this one single word mean to you? Omaha. What does that mean?
That's the pinnacle. Like, that's, you know, Omaha, Nebraska is where our national championship has been for as long as I can remember. I think it's going to be there for a long time to come. It is the pinnacle of what we do. All the other sports rotate from city to city, this, that, and the other, or at least, you know, football and basketball do. Baseball's in Omaha every year, and that's just it's the pinnacle of college baseball.
I know what your answer is going to be, and before you give it, let me say you're right. But back in our day, remember you'd go out. Remember the long yellow wiffle ball bat? You'd go out and play wiffle ball.
You get in trouble because you smacked your sister upside the head with it.
Exactly.
Sure.
We were out in the yard doing that, right? We did it every day. Kids around the neighborhood. There are other sports these days. Kids have other interests. There's nothing wrong with that. But someone who would say baseball isn't what it used to be, sell me on why that's not true.
Well, that's a great question. It's a challenging question. It's different than what it used to be. It's not better or worse.
Mm-hmm.
Technology is in all of our lives, way different than it was 20 years ago, 10 years ago even.
Yeah.
Technology is a big part. The analytics that we have in our games certainly change concepts and change philosophies. So things have changed along those lines. I'm not going to say better. Our players are trained with such a higher level of expertise in their training, nutrition, just how we're teaching them to move. We have data and technology. It used to be your eyes and your feel is how you coached. Now you got your eyes and your feel. You got to keep those things. Those are your instincts. But you have also a lot of information, a lot of data to confirm and back you up. I think the one thing that misses from those wiffle ball days in the backyard, space and timing. You know, the computer games, the analytics can't always determine and help you with space and timing. Space and timing is a ball that's hit the right center field, and your center fielder's moving away from third base. The runner from on first base can go first to third because of that space and timing. That's hard to practice at. If you're not doing those things, you don't play hot box in the backyard. You don't you're not trying to take an extra base because you don't have a ghost runner available to you in the back. You know what I mean? Those things that we did. You know, you don't learn some of those things.
But the game's alive and well.
The game is good. The game is, you know, it's still 60 feet 6 inches. Home plate is 17 inches across, and the bases are 90 feet apart. And there's been bang plays. It's a college game. It's a pro game. It's a high school game. You know, ground ball hit, bang play. Yesterday there was a play at home plate, a high throw, a diving catcher, a diving guy in the home plate. It's great.
Just go to the high school, go to the championships. You'll see it. You'll see the game.
It's
the game
right
is
here.
in good shape. And you're right. You've got TrackMan, you've got spin rate, you got exit velo, but it's still put the ball in play. It's still about good pitching. It's still about the same things it was 100 years ago. Well, maybe not 100 years ago. We just have fancier ways to track all of it. It's still pitching, hitting. It's still the basics.
You still got to throw strikes. You still got to put the bat on the ball. You're right. For the baseball fans that are watching this, the energy in Jack Cook Field this week is awesome. If you love baseball, even though if you don't have a vested interest in going to the ballpark, as far as who wins, you might even have more fun if you don't care who wins, because you're just going to go watch baseball and you're going to see a great deal of energy and kids playing their tails off.
By the way, Bridgeport's got runners at second and third, nobody out, bottom of the seventh. See what we're missing? You're here. We dragged you over here, and you're missing the end of this game. Hey, Coach. Hey, so far I've heard rave reviews on the ballpark, rave reviews on hosting the state tournament so far from everybody down here. Nice job so far. Congratulations, and look forward to talking to you again once season gets cranked up.
Well, I just got to thank everybody in this community to help us get this done, get the ballpark done, and then get this state championship here in Huntington. It's a good thing. So
good job.
Thanks to everybody in Herd Nation.
Hey, where's your buddy, the football coach? What's he doing these days?
He's got camp. He's recruiting right now.
Week,
yeah, he's got camp going on.
You don't have to lie.
No. We'll circle back at the end of the week.
All right. Marshall Baseball, Greg Beals. Hey, buddy, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Back in a moment. This is Talkline from the Cove Insurance Studios on the campus of Marshall University.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
On the next State of Minds.
There's this big power plant that looks like it's going right on top of Davis, and I think everyone was asking the same question, why? We have a rural character, outdoor character, wild character of our county, and we would be kind of putting in this utility-size industrial landscape, and I think it would change the character of our county.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
All right, Bridgeport has loaded the bases with one out. Bottom of the seventh inning, game tied 2 apiece with East Fairmont. So East Fairmont intentionally walked Case and Bond to load the bases. Now you got the double play set up. Ground ball might get you out of the inning. Boy, we got a good one going on. That's just the game 1 of 4 today in the Class AAA quarterfinals over at Jack Cook Field. 4A quarterfinals are tomorrow, then we get into the semifinals on Thursday.
Bases loaded?
Yeah, bases loaded, one out. 304 Talk 304, the text line, 800-765-8255, the phone number. Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Powerball and jackpot is $238 million. Mega Millions jackpot is $392 million. So go ahead, play today. 3-0 count on the batter. A walk and this game's over. I love it.
You want to be there right now. I know you do.
Well,
I don't blame you. I kind of want to be there too.
Well, had I thought about it, I'd have just thrown you the last segment of the show, and I'd have gone over to the ballpark. But listen, I could sit and talk. You can hear. I love talking to these coaches. Whether it's football, basketball, baseball, obviously the Greg Beals. The guys love what they do. Coaching's a lot of hard work, but they love what they do, and I love listening to these guys talk about it with the passion that they have. Whether it's Greg Beals, Steve Sabins, Randy Mazie, Tony Gibson. I love watching them, and you can see it. When you get to talk to them in person, you can see that passion, and I respect it and love it.
Well, baseball's not going anywhere anytime soon. You know, that's one of the things I was wanting to get the coaches' take on. A lot of folks would say, hey, you know, more kids are playing soccer today and all. And that's true, and that's good. Nothing against that. But baseball's alive and well. It's not going anywhere.
Baseball's too big for
Oh.
What did you just do? I thought you got stung by a bee.
No, breaking news.
Sack fly. Bridgeport wins 3-2. Fundamental baseball. Get them on, get them over. Your internet's working faster than mine, by the way. There, I thought you got stung by a bee the way you jumped up out of the chair.
I pay a little extra for faster service so I can try to edge the market every day.
Hey, I'm using what Marshall's giving me. So.
I am too, just random. Honestly.
I hope Mike and Jake, I hope you got that on video, by the way. I see a meme in our future, TJ.
You know, I genuinely want to reject this idea that all I care about is golf. I want to reject it. And if you heard Dave Allen's show along with Amanda Barron, she was on vacation, but if you heard midday last Friday when Sean Smith hit that homer to make it 3-0 in the first inning.
Yeah.
I mean, Lawrence and I were all over. Everybody knows Lawrence is big on baseball.
Oh, yeah.
I'm even more animated than he is. And this idea that I'm not a sports guy, I mean, come on, I reject that wholeheartedly.
Let me get in a couple of texts here. 304 Talk 304. If you don't want it to rain, do a sun dance, says the texter. We will get Chris Lawrence on that. He's our field reporter today. We'll get him on the sun dance. Brad Smith, class act. His best wishes for the Mountaineers. This is how both fan bases should feel. Cheer for both our D1 schools. I have said it once. We've said it twice. We'll say it 3 times. And this is no slight against any of the previous presidents at either of the institutions, but I believe Both Marshall, under the leadership of Brad Smith, and now West Virginia, under the leadership of Michael Benson, are as well positioned as they have ever been to be successful in the future.
Let me try to put my folksy charm on this. There are some people you run into them at the grocery store, and you go the other way because you don't want to see them. Smith and Benson, man, you're going right down their aisle because you want to see what's going on. People gravitate toward them. They have an energy. They have a leadership. One of these days we'll get Smith to talk about innovation at Intuit. I mean, people do not realize the level of corporate innovation and how he changed the game and what he did and how he's using that here. It's an amazing story.
Got to take a final break, tell you what's coming up the rest of the day and what we might be planning for tomorrow. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. We're on the campus of Marshall. Back in a moment.
For over 30 years, High Technology Foundation has been committed to building a stronger West Virginia. Our mission, economic diversification. By fostering innovation and supporting tech initiatives, we pave the way for a brighter future. From cutting-edge research to tech-driven solutions, we're transforming the landscape. Join us in creating opportunities and driving progress. Let's build a diverse economy together. Visit WVHTF.org. High Technology Foundation, shaping West Virginia's future.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Talk 304 is the text line. TJ, great questions. I think we all know this is a reaction response to the flooding during the last rain event, talking about Monarch. Nothing more than buying out the problem. My question is, where was the DEP and their fine book rights after that event? Crickets, says the texter.
I don't know if I'd agree with that or not. I don't think I do agree with that. I mean, I'll take Monarch at their word. I mean, it's just smart. It's just the way to do things and give people an offer if they're not happy. It's good business.
304 Talk 304, the text line. All right, coming up the rest of the day, got Metro News Midday. Dave and Amanda coming up, 1206 hotline, and then the Sportsline guys. Of course, we've got the high school state baseball tournament over at Jack Cook Field. Game 1 in the books. Bridgeport pulls it out with 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th, beats East Fairmont to survive and advance. Indians win at 3-2. Highlights, recaps, photos, all available at WVMetroNews.com. Up next, Ripley and Spring Valley. In fact, I got to call that game, so we got to get this thing wrapped up, and I got to get up the street a little bit, TJ.
How fast can you run?
Running. When's the last time you've seen me run anywhere?
I try to set you up,
Well, I can't. Nobody's going to believe that I run anywhere. My wife's the runner. You know what? You remember what I do during her races.
Yeah, I heard about that. Instead of, meeting her and you're in the car asleep. Is that right?
Well, sometimes, and other times I find donuts and coffee while she's running a half marathon. Spring Valley Ripley coming up next. That game on the Metro News Radio Network later this afternoon. Number 2 St. Albans versus John Marshall, and then number 3 Shady Spring and Robert C. Byrd coming up to finish the night. Then tomorrow we'll have the Class 4A teams in town, and we're expecting, if the weather holds off, great crowds because we got GW Huntington, Washington and Jefferson, which are 10 miles from each other in the Eastern Panhandle. We'll travel 6 days to play each other down here. Morgantown, Cabell Midland, Hurricane, Martinsburg. So should be some good crowds, good games tomorrow in Class 4A. And then we'll finally get to the semifinals on Thursday in the expanded high school baseball tournament.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think weather is going to be one of the issues to wrestle with the entire week. At least that's the way it's looking. But hopefully we can mitigate that to the best extent. And you can play in the rain, right, as long as there's just no lightning.
The rain to an extent, because it's an all-turf field, so it's not like the old days. So
as long as it's not buckets, a little mist.
We can handle that. Lightning could be a problem. I blame Bryan Hughes for all of that, of course. Follow the news today over at the website, WVMetroNews.com. You always blame the weather guy.
A lot of places I could go with that, but I'm just going to, let it ride.
Follow the news at WVMetroNews.com. Follow the state tournament as well. Joe Mercado, Greg Carey, and the crew will have highlights, recaps, photos for you at the website. We're back on campus tomorrow. Do we know who we're going to have? Brian Abraham's going to stop by tomorrow, right?
Brian Abraham at 11:06. What will AEP do with these dollars from the federal government? Their share of that $700 million. We'll find out tomorrow.
Do you think we can get the voice of the herd to come by the show this week?
Well, he's sitting here now, so maybe we can talk with him after.
He's a high-profile guest. You got to go through his agent. It's a whole thing. This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.